When the two are reunited, they will remain in the United States during the appellate process while the injunction is in place. And in accordance with the Court of Appeals ruling, we will take every step necessary to ensure that Elian does not leave the country while the Court of Appeals injunction is in place. We have been to great lengths to resolve this case in the least disruptive manner possible.
Every conceivable alternative was tried for quite a long time. And so I think she did the right thing, and I'm very pleased with the way she handled it.
Well, surprise, surprise, President Clinton throwing his support behind his Attorney General's decision yesterday to smash and grab Elian away from the Miami relatives.
So let's talk about this. Those images aside, did Janet Reno do the right thing? Does she have the law on her side? Joining us right now here in our studios, immigration attorney Michael Wilds and general counsel with the International Immigration Foundation, Mel Sachs. Hi, guys. Let me start with you, Mel. Did Janet Reno need a specific court order to go in and do what they did yesterday?
I would say this wasn't an abuse of the law. However, it was abuse of power and authority. The Immigration and Naturalization Service certainly has the ability to be able to go in, and we understand that
without a specific court order?
We understand that there was, in fact, an order to go in. We haven't seen the order. However, this is an agency which does have certain power. It seems to me that the power is not unbridled power, and what they did was frankly abusive. There was overreaching. The tactics that we used were wrongful and frankly heavy-handed. But they were within the law going in there and taking the child.
Well, Michael, we had Eric Holder on yesterday. We had some very heated discussion between him and Andrew Napolitano as to whether or not there was a court order. Holder didn't say there was, he didn't say there wasn't, but would it be necessary? There was a transferring here of guardianship of Elian. He had, Lazaro had been awarded the guardianship in Miami. That was transferred yesterday at 5 a.m. to the father. Do you need a court order for that, yes or no?
Yes. Clearly, I am a former federal prosecutor. I used to work on getting court orders to go on raids, to go and search it, and we had to get these warrants. And it's unconscionable to me that this was not only prominently displayed. They went into this home with guns. From an administration that advocates gun control, they went forward with firearms. They didn't come brandishing a warrant. If I were the team leader or the federal prosecutor leading this whole effort, if I were the Attorney General, I would have made everybody have a copy of that warrant on top of them. This case has been in the courts for the last few months. We had nearly next to the Supreme Court of the United States a court order that this boy remain here, that there was a substantial likelihood of success. And the Attorney General then goes into the most sacred of our citizenry's palaces, their home, without a court order?
Do you still need that, even if there is the suspicion, as they say there was, and again, the suspicion that there might have been guns in the house or outside among the protesters? Do you...
These law enforcement officers were protecting themselves. They're given instructions. The question is ultimately, how good was their intelligence and whether or not this was an intelligent job that they did?
The Constitution guarantees everyone 144 protections and safeguards. However, in this situation, this agency can in fact go in. We understand that there was in fact an order to go in. We haven't seen the order, but the fact remains there are protections that the father has, that the father should be given custody, and the 11th Circuit deliberately in that decision did not address the custody issue at all, and therefore the agency under the auspices of the Department of Justice had the right to go in and take the child.
Michael, could it be, I mean, no country is absolutely secure of laws. Could it be that there's one crack in the law here with regard to authority that the INS has, that perhaps it just, the law doesn't exist to, in this case, the fact that the INS is a federal power that had authority to do what it did, and it took that authority?
Having the authority and exercising the authority are two different issues. The fact remains that this was in the court system, it was on the streets of Miami, and it should not have gotten to this point. The fact is that the politicians should not be using their political agendas at the behest of a child.
Michael, Mel, if you could stand by, we will continue with our coverage on the seizure of Elian, and we want to get your opinion on it. Our number 1-888-TEL-FOX. You're watching Fox News Live.